Well, howdy there, foreigner. Sheriff Gibby here. Hope you're doing good. Welcome back to my monthly Toy Story reviews. We've already reviewed Toy Stories 1 and 2, so now we're up to Toy Story 3. And I am just going to get this out of the way right now. Toy Story 3 is my favourite of the franchise, and it's going to receive a 10 out of 10. I feel this is most people's favourite of the franchise. It's either this one or 2, and I understand if your favourite is 2. But the reason why this movie is my favourite is because it is very, very personal to me. This is one of the first films I ever saw in a cinema. The first film I ever saw was How to Train Your Dragon. This was the second film, but this is also the first film I saw twice in the cinema. So this movie is personal to me on a movie-going experience, but it's also personal to me because every year that I watch it, it just gets even more relatable. Also, major spoilers for Toy Story 3. If you haven't seen it, again, somehow, the main theme of Toy Story 3 is all about growing up and moving on. How do we move on from something? When do we move on from something? Or in the movie's case, someone. Andy is all grown up now. He's on his way to college, hasn't played with the toys for years, but he's taking Woody to college with him and leaving the other toys behind in the attic. And Woody still feels it's his duty to stick by Andy and protect him. He doesn't realise that he's grown up and he doesn't need him anymore. But when he's whisked off away to Sunnyside and he runs into Bonnie and finds out that he can make other kids happy, he learns that he can move on and he needs to move on. And Andy does as well. But the other toys realise that Andy has moved on and they believe that he left them all out on the pavement to be thrown in the garbage truck. And even though Woody keeps trying to tell them that it was a mistake from Andy's mum, they still don't believe him. And that is the only flaw that I have with this movie.
That was a mistake. Andy's mom thought you were trash.
Yeah, after he put us in a trash bag.
And called us junk.
Yeah, I know. It looks bad. But guys, you gotta believe me.
Sure thing, college boy.
Inconsiderate assholes.
I don't understand why the toys feel that Woody would be lying about this. I mean, Woody was out of the trash bag. He could see clearly what was happening. So the whole motivation of going to Sunnyside, it's just a little bit weak for me, and that is my only flaw with this movie. But what I do like is when they learn from their mistakes and trust Woody again, find out that he wasn't lying, and they do that by throwing the toys in Auschwitz. The toys are locked up, Buzz is reset, and they're all being tortured by the worst thing on planet Earth. And this is one thing you can notice from every single Toy Story movie, that the creators don't care about freaking kids out. They're going to make them scared, they're going to make them watch this stuff, and they're going to be happy. And you know what? I highly respect that. I also really like that the main demographic of this movie is one of the scariest things for a child to watch in this film. That's just really, really funny to me. But the biggest monster in this movie is easily Lotso Huggin' Bear. There's no competition. He's easily the best villain in the Toy Story franchise. He evolves on the theme of moving on, and his side of the story asks the question, what happens to a toy when a kid grows up? Can they move on to new owners? Or are they just cheap pieces of plastic ready to be thrown away? Lotso is very much anti-theme in this movie. And while you do hate this strawberry smelling old ass bear, you do kind of understand why he starts to believe these things. And dare I say it, I felt a little bit bad for him. I could only imagine what he was going through when he saw his own kid replace him. And that is exactly why he believes these things. And exactly why he wants other toys to believe that they're just junk. And that's why he throws them in the caterpillar room and just tortures them. But even though he has a tragic backstory, you just want this guy to die. You absolutely hate him. In fact, when I first saw this movie, when they're all in the garbage slide and Lotso gets stuck underneath that pan or TV, whatever it was, and Woody and Buzz go to help him, I was really, really mad at those two. I was like, why are you saving this guy? But at the same time, I do appreciate that that little moment proves that no matter how a toy's feeling and how they're acting, they're not trash, they are a toy through and through. But Lotso's ending is very, very poetic. He's strapped to the front of a garbage truck, left to just be friends with the toys on front of there, not beloved, and just be with the flies. The other toys, though, get the best ending possible. Andy gives them all to Bonnie, and he drives off into the sunset. Even at 5 years old, when I couldn't comprehend the word narrative, This moment really hit me in the feelings. And I'm not afraid to say it, I still cry at this moment now. Pixar knew this moment would make you cry, so they just drag it on, just twisting the knife ever so slightly. But my favourite moment of this entire ending is this little moment where Andy finds Woody in the box. He's just staring at him. Woody is smiling back at him. He's not moving his face, no nothing. Andy is very hesitant to give him away. But the face of Woody just tells him, I'll be okay. It's time to move on, and thank you for all the memories. And that moment right there just brings a real tear to my eye. It's so quick, but it tells an entire story in 4 shots. And they could have just ended the movie right there. But no. Andy decides to play with the toys one last time with Bonnie, and he drives off into the sunset, thanks them quietly, and Woody says, so long, partner. And then we cut to the clouds in the sky, the famous Pixar clouds. Absolutely perfect. So on a narrative level, this movie is perfection to me. But this movie is enhanced by some of the most iconic sequences in any animated film. In fact, I think the entire third act of this movie is completely flawless. I cannot name a single flaw in the third act. The toys breaking out of Sunnyside is really, really tense and really terrifying because of that damn monkey. I cannot express enough how scared I was of that monkey when I first saw this film. I mean, how could any kid not be scared of that? That horrible scream and the tambourines bashing. The confrontation over the bin with Lotso, where he finally shows his true colours to his goons, is absolutely fantastic. And then you've got the garbage dump scene, where they're slowly going into that pit of fire, they're holding hands, and they're ready to die. Do not tell me you didn't think they'd die in that moment when you first saw this movie. I know I thought they were going to die when I first saw this film, but when I saw that claw come down and the green aliens came on screen, I just wanted to jump out of my seat and cheer. The green aliens are the real heroes of this franchise. They saved their lives and we are eternally grateful. Also, on a technical level, this movie still holds up. The animation especially. While yes, there is better animation now, I still think this movie holds up really, really well. I especially love how they present Sunnyside in this movie. At the start, it's so bright and colourful and charming, you just want to be there. And then throughout the movie, when you realise what's going on, it just turns into this dark, grey building. The music is great in this film too. So tense, so emotional, dramatic towards the end as well when they're going into the fire pit. And also Randy Newman's We Belong Together that plays in the credits. I love that song. I listen to that song a lot when I'm on a walk and stuff. It's a very, very underrated song, I think. And of course, all of the voice acting is absolutely fantastic, especially from the newcomers like Ned Beatty, who voices Lotso. I really love how he made the character so likeable and huggable at first, but with a snap of a finger, he turns into this absolute menace. He gave him this smug attitude as well, so he says really awful things really cheerfully.
You all get a good night's rest. You got a full day of playtime tomorrow.
You just want to punch him in the face. And really, what more can I say about Toy Story 3? This is the best of the franchise. It has the best story in the franchise, the best character work, the best themes, one of the greatest endings to a trilogy of all time. Excellent animation, brilliant music, brilliant voice acting. Everything's brilliant in this movie. And as I mentioned earlier, 10s across the board, baby. But the next movie is the controversial one. No matter what I say, I'm going to have a lot of people saying they disagree with me, a lot of people saying they agree with me. What will I say? You'll have to find out next month. But that concludes my review of Toy Story 3. Please let me know your thoughts on the movie down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed this video, guys. Have a good day, and so long, partners.